Satsang Europe. Would you like to say something regarding Satsang Europe? How you came to know about it, and like what importance does it hold for you, basically?
It's not about the organization what you have built. That is just like the award organization. But actually, if you see the number of activities what we have done after the organization, it immensely. I would say more and more every day. We feel like we are growing, just growing and growing.
Today, everyone is running towards globalization, industrialization. I think the world of realization is yet to spread around. But I think you have already stepped into the world of realization. It's always said that once you realize, you get to know how to utilize. And utilization is a gateway to transformation.
You cannot do how much you could do in the age of 60 or let's say 55. In 20, 30, 40s, you are more active, right? Then you can do so many things if you really want to do for spiritual things. But in the 60 or 70 years, when you are getting older, that time your body will not allow you to do so many things actively. So you have to understand which age is the right time to do some spiritual things.
Hello together. Welcome to Satsang Europe's podcast show. Today's eminent guest with us is Mr. Bikash Behera, who is having around 14 years of working experience as a delivery manager in Pandora, the largest jewelry brand. He has been in Europe in Copenhagen since 6 years. Today's exchange of thoughts are more about Satsang Europe family and his inspiration to get associated to this family. Here, we also tried to understand some grounds on how today's generation apprehend the words faith and belief and understand about spiritualization. Some messages for them. Hope this episode gives you enlightening views about life. So, hello Bikash. Welcome to our third episode for Satsang Europe's podcast. I'm sure you would have already seen the previous two podcasts with Saumyada, where Dr. Pranayda and Dr. Arijit Biswas was there. Actually, it's always enlightening to talk to you about your experiences and your coming to Europe, your family. I think we have known each other from the COVID time, not before that. We got to know each other through online. And today we are here to know more about you, more about your experiences, the ideologies that you follow in your life. So the first thing, let's start with a very casual day. So how is the day going for you today?
Jai Guru Arpitama and Jai Guru everyone. Yes, it is, like you rightly mentioned, it's a third episode and I'm really happy and also, privileged to say that, now I'm part of this third episode and surely it will be going to be a nice discussion, no doubt in that. And yes, the day, like it's a Friday and, working day, we're just finishing the day. And as usual, before starting the next week, how to complete all our pending stuff for the day. And then to have some, Saturday, Sunday to have some good time. And then again to come up with a lot of energy from Monday. So that's how the day look like. And yes, it's going on. Yeah.
Sure. Weekends are... The feeling of coming of a weekend is always nice, Even during the last day of Friday, we work until the afternoon, like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and then relax, chill, go to home. And even in German, it is generally said that Saturdays and Sundays are family days, so you get a lot of time to spend with your families. I guess it's the same for you. Yeah, then it's going to be a really interesting talk with you. I can completely imagine this complete episode that we're going to share. So the thing that is happening nowadays is that this word satsang and then this organization what we are acquainted to, you are also there, a part of it, Satsang Europe. Would you like to say something regarding Satsang Europe, how you came to know about it, and like what importance does it hold for you, basically?
Yeah, definitely. It's like you very well said, like we belong to one let's say organization, and Satsang Europe, it's been almost like now it's going to be second year is going on. If we say like formally like the registered organization, if we say that, but it's like after, so we have been like in connection, and we have been discussing, we have been doing everything with Thakur's philosophy, ideology. It's been a long time, but we have a interest, like how we can have a organization. When I'm saying organization, of course, like where we have some like to some guidelines to follow, so that it is always to, and of course with the Ashirvad of our Pujyapad Acharya. So that's how he also gave us some direction how you should proceed in Europe, because in Europe there was no organization before, and that's where we have started discussing, and like lot of we have spent a lot of time on the collecting the bylaws and how we should do, how not to do, and a lot of things. So it's been 2 years, and honestly, Pitama, it's not about the organization what we have built, that is just like the award organization. But actually, if you see the number of activities what we have done after the organization, it immensely, I would say, more and more every day we feel like we are growing, just growing and growing. The Thakur's thing what every day, like the number of people now in Europe, number of Guru Bhais, Guru Mas, how they are joining almost every month, or new Guru Bhais, new Guru Mas are coming across Europe. And then the activities like the food service activities, almost most of the countries have their monthly satsang nowadays. So this is the real impact of Satsang Europe. So now whenever we are talking like we belong to Satsang Europe, and so that is just a registered body. But just because of that, also we have a really a good impact, that people know we all belong to one organization. We have our common ideal, our Thakur, and then of course let's do some activities for him. So that is how the change I have seen since couple of years now, Arpitama. Yeah.
Okay, so basically you mean that whenever you talk about Satsang Europe, I can see the light in your eyes actually. So you're quite enthusiastic that you are a part of this organization, and since you have said that it's almost about to be 2 years, and I very well remember we celebrated our first Utsav for Satsang Europe, so it was a grand event and we all were there. I first met with your daughter also. And I would like to also tell our viewers that he mentioned a word called Acharya Dev. So with the blessings of Acharya Dev, he was mentioning regarding this in the previous episode with Dr. Arijit Biswas. He has very beautifully explained what is Acharya Parampara and who is exactly Acharya for us, and why we are talking about this thing. I think we'll get to know more about it. But coming back to you, because you said that for how long have you been already acquainted with Satsang? I would like to know.
Yeah, satsang. So I think like I think it's from childhood, I would say, because with Thakur, with the blessings of Thakur, it's been from my childhood. I'm connected with satsang because I'm the second generation. My first generation, of course, my parents. So they have been connected with Thakur. It's almost like 25 years now, if I say exactly the number of years. So my father is also a karmi. So also like active karmi, I would say, so who from Odisha, of course. And so like Thakur said, Thakur's also fast person whom always Thakur believe is his parents, especially his mother, so like whatever we learn, so we learn from our parents first, because I don't know who is Thakur, who is Bodama, who is Bodha, I don't know. But then when I saw, why every day, morning, evening, and what they're doing, and how come they can be so consistently can do that, whatever the situation in a day, but they will never forget to do a Ishtavriti, and also they never forget to do the prayer, and of course the satsang. So then though I was in my young age, but these things helped me to really know little bit more. And then eventually I got initiated, and then then everything is history, and it's been almost like I would say from childhood, like I said. So it's been with the satsang. And especially if you ask me, satsang Europe, yes, like it's been 2 years as a registered buddy, but before that, I have been connected in Europe almost like, 3-4 years before. So it's been 5-6 years in Europe only. So we have been connected, and also we have been doing satsang activities. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting to know. I mean, you already knew about Thakur and his ideology from childhood, but I think the experience that you have gained has come to more reality after coming to abroad, I would say. And there's a very famous quote I can remember. There's a very famous quote I can remember. It's mentioned as like no real knowledge is gained until unless it is thoroughly examined. And if you do not have the knowledge about it, how can you give an opinion? So of course you have examined it, explored it so much that you can obviously give your opinions very frank.
Yeah, exactly. Like Arpitama, if I can say that, of course, I moved to Europe. It's been like, I moved to Europe in 2012, so back then, like, of course, whenever I go to a different state in India or different country, so then first thing I always try to see, is there any Satsangi Guru Bhais, whom I can interact or whom I can connect with, so that I can do some couple of Thakur's activity. But maybe it was, I don't know, I should say unfortunate or something, but I was in France for for almost 8 years. But I did not get a chance to, to connect with somebody in France. Like I was in a couple of places, cities in France, but I haven't got a chance to connect with anyone. Then I always have a feeling, of course, at that time, maybe, I did not visit much, a couple of times I did not get, due to some reasons, I did not visit to Deoghar, else I could have asked there. But when I came to Denmark, so Denmark, then like you said initially, you got to know me during the COVID time. So after the COVID, everything started with my life, and then I got connected with a lot of Satsang Europe Guru Bhais. And then then I know, oh, there are so many Guru Bhais in Europe. Oh my God! Then that's the that's what I was really looking for since a long time. And then then it's not a single day when I was not connected with any of the Guru Bhais. We are connected every single day through our lot of discussions, prayers, and like satsangs, utsav, food service, and many activities we have been doing. So basically, yes. So like you said, Europe, after coming Europe, I think I'm more connected. That's what you rightly said. Yes, it's been more. Before that, I was connected, but I would say like Thakur said, active urge, active connected. So that activeness came after coming to Europe. Yes.
That's really beautiful to hear about how connectivity has increased. And since you said that you were in France and there was no connection, but still later on you got the opportunity to connect to people, and then now you are leading a life with a big family, I would say. Even I am a part of it, so I can completely relate how this feels every day, starting from our morning prayers until the evening prayer, and then dinner, and then all the fun discussions that we have during the whole day is it's really enlightening. I think if we do not speak for one day, it doesn't make our day start, I would say. This is really lovely. I understood that you said that you are the second generation satsangi, and you have been seeing up to your parents who have held your hand to look up to Thakur. So I would like to really know, it's not only our parents. I would say when we were child, then parents obviously teaches us a lot of stuff and helps us to understand how the world is. But if we say, when you gained your intelligence, when you understood how the world is, what exactly inspired you? What facts have you really faced in your life that helped you to walk in this path?
I think this is a very interesting point what you highlighted, Arpitama, because like every day we try to know something new. We get some knowledge. Which before. Maybe we realize no, that is wrong or that is correct. Because we are little bit mature or getting knowledgeable every single day. That's what we can say. So see, Thakur, if see, we are human being and we have our, we have like, we are educated people, we have like, we know science and as much as possible. I'm not saying we don't know everything, but knowing Thakur is not till this knowing science and knowing getting educated. So Thakur is something very different, right? So he's beyond this, all these things. So it is all how, what is your realization, how you feel when you think about him, how you feel like he's part of your family. He, like we call, like I always say to my wife and to my, like when I talk, like he's like enough supreme father for us, right? So like whenever I do something, I always think like, let me talk to my father, whether it's right or wrong, let's say. So then in the same time, so I always also pray and do a pranami and also think about it. Thakur, I'm going to do it. So it is on you. If you think it's good for me or bad for me, I don't know. But I know that you are I'm doing your you for your any activity, but you are always there for me to take care of me. So that kind of maturity, it will not come from science or from how much you learn the books and from how much you go to any university. So that is where the inspiration came not only from my parents but eventually from the surrounding with my Guru Bhais, Guru Ma's, how they are loving Thakur, how much they love Thakur, to what be like, how to what extent they love Thakur, every day. So that really inspired me after coming to Europe. And so I think that is what I would definitely say that inspired me. And like how I realized, and also couple of like everyone's life, if something, I should not a miracle, because Thakur does not say I do miracle, but if you love me, if you trust me, then your life will be miracle every single day. So that is a lot of things happen in my life where I really felt Thakur is always there with me. So that already that always inspired me. Yeah.
That's really nice to hear that how the environment has actually helped you to get inspired to know more about Thakur, to really get to know him into his world, I would say. So in this materialistic world we are living today, everyone is running towards globalization, industrialization. I think the world of realization is yet to spread around. But I think you have already stepped into the world of realization. It's always said that once you realize, you get to know how to utilize. And utilization is a gateway to transformation. So I can understand that how this transformation would have happened from your childhood experiences to the present day that you're living here. So do you have any very unique experience that would have given you this spark in your life, that has given the vibrance to your life, that you would like to share with us today?
See, yeah, of course, like I have also, like others, I have also some realization, some some events happened with me in my life where I felt like Thakur is always there with me. So like COVID time, I'll just take a very crisp example of my COVID time. That was my, I would say Thakur only saved me, just to state one line here, because we all know like how difficult, how tough time was there, right? So back in 2020, so the whole world was suffering for that, and I was one of the first in Denmark who got COVID. And it's not only getting the COVID, but I was really infected with 65 to 70% with my lungs.
Oh my God, that was critical situation. Yeah. I mean, we have heard the complete story, but probably I didn't know that you had like 60 to 70% of it.
65 to 70% infection in my lungs. Yeah. And and we just moved from France to Denmark. It's been only 3 months, and we don't know much people here. We don't know the medical system, and we don't have a lot of people here. And that time I was so not connected with Europe Guru Bhais also. So we know only couple of people, maybe some from my some my employer, like my organization company. So then suddenly we got to know that yes, I am one of them. Then suddenly they admitted me in hospital, and that time like my wife, she was also not aware of that. Yes, we actually went to visit the doctor whether I have some infection or not, and after 1 hour they said you have to stay here and your wife has to go back. And that time it was not a plan for us that we'll go and we'll come back, and but now they're keeping me in hospital. And then they kept me in hospital almost for 16 days, and slowly they, in the second day itself, they told like you got COVID, and slowly it was, the infection was more and more and more. And then a time came when like honestly I lost hope. And that time of course, like I said, we came to visit the doctor, so we didn't bring our let's say the dress, or we did not bring any food item, and of course the most important is our Ishtabruti, so which we did not bring. And then Ishtabruti is the only thing which we always do in the every single day, whatever the situation. And I was so then I was thinking, oh my god, there is no Ishtabruti, and I was not able to connect with my wife also, because there is no phone also, they're not allowing to connect and all these things. They asked me to take some really good amount of rest. And then like a couple of my family members, they somehow they connected with my wife, and they told like, why don't you start doing the Ishtabruti? And though she was not initiated that time, so without knowing the mantra and nothing, so she just looking at Thakur, she just started doing Ishtabruti. And from, you won't believe, from that day itself, my infection level that got down, and like from 65 to 70%, it came down to 15%, almost 10 to 15%, and like over the period of like a week of time. And then finally the time was, that I have seen the time when they put me to a single room where I was like very serious infected patient. But then they moved, when I was a little bit better, they moved to a shared room where with me there are a couple of other COVID people, right? So I have seen the situation where the lady who is just sleeping beside me, next day morning the bed is empty, and so she's gone. That means like she's no more in this world. So I have seen these things for a couple of days. So just see the impact what is coming to me every day. They're thinking, oh my god, what will happen to me? Will I survive? Will I leave? Like, so all these things came to mind. But then when the Ishtabruti started, and always during this whole process, always Thakur was in my mind, that I know that he is there. I will be very strong. But as a human being, sometimes your mind, when you see the surroundings, this bed is empty now, somebody else is coming to this bed, where is that person going now? Is he or she dead? Or all these things was coming to mind. But anyway, by Thakur's grace and of course his blessings only, and then I survived, and I came to after 16 days in hospital, I came back. So that was a spark, because when it happened to yourself with your life, and then you get a big spark. And that was one of the spark time what I wanted to share here. There are many such examples, but this is something which is with respect to my own life. So that's, I just wanted to share here, Pitama. When I'm talking, I'm getting emotional also, because Thakur, how he saved me, my family during that process, that is that only he knows what he has done and how he has survived. Yeah.
True. I was not there in that exact situation, but I feel like since you're telling it now, the whole situation must be revolving around you, and that scary feeling and that particular emotion, I think it's not easy for any one of us to imagine. Only the person who has faced it would be able to really express this. I feel like you also mentioned that your wife is not initiated, and still she had that particular belief in Thakur because she has seen you having that same belief. I think there is also a saying from Dr. Anukulchandra that if you believe, so believe and you shall master the world within. So that exactly happened in your situation. I feel both you and your wife together, you both together did have that strong belief, because of which you are here today with us.
And I'm happy that after that my wife got initiated, and now I'm so happy that my whole family, we follow Thakur. At least we try to actively do some activities for Thakur, which always Thakur says not only believing me and also praying for him, but you have to do active things. So for every single day, where like some of the philosophy will be there, and doing some help to the society, or you do Thakur's share Thakur's word, your feelings, like I said with you now, share these feelings with your colleagues, your friends, so that they understand the value of Thakur, what philosophy he has given. So yes, I'm so happy that my whole family is now following Thakur, and we are good. Yes.
That is really lovely that your whole family is also in this particular path. I mean, I started with the question that how did you get inspired to travel to this path, and I feel now that your inspiration has become an inspiration for your family, even that they have chosen to walk in this path and feel the bliss of Thakur's blessings. I mean, there are a lot of teachings from Thakur and the small book which he has written, Satyanu. We get to learn every day something new, and that book is such specialized. I feel that if we read the same statement every day, some new meaning comes up. I think you would have also faced it, isn't it?
So I'll just take a couple of minutes, because you just said a very good point here. Like like you said, this Thakur has so nicely mentioned the the banis. When you read it, you feel like it is for me. I think everybody feels that. When I got initiated with Swasteni, so that is also something, that same thing happened to me. And we all are there, like 1920 Guru Bhais in a Norway, and we visited that place for just have some good time together. We are meeting after a long time. We all visited, and I, by seeing couple of our Ritik, so I was so inspired, so how come they love Thakur so much to that extent? Every single hour, every single minute they think about Thakur and all these things. Then I was so inspired. Then I thought, no, why it's a really good time for me to take Sosteni, but then my question, it came to mind, why, what are the rules and all these things I need to follow if I do Sosteni? And like you very well said, we do. So when we all are there, we used to do our prayers, right? Every day, in morning and evening also, together with all 18, 19 people in Norway. So when the question arises in my mind, the next morning when we read the book, and then in Alochana Prasangs, the same question somebody is asking to Thakur. So can you explain me the Swasteni, about Swasteni? Then Thakur is explaining one by one all the lines. The day before, it was my question. And I did not ask anybody, I did not share with anybody, not even with my wife also. It was just me. And then I got my answers. And in the same day evening, when I thought, I'll take the Swasteni now, then it came to mind, why, why here, why don't I go to Devghar and I take a Swasteni from Devghar, our ashram? And then, next day morning, again, when you're reading the book, then again, there is a question, somebody is asking, what is the role of Ritvik in the Satsang world? And the Thakur is saying, like, they are my messengers. So I cannot be everywhere. I am everywhere, but physically I cannot be there everywhere. But then Ritik are there, who are my messengers, like, who will help you to understand, will help you to really, to really share with you my philosophies. Then it was my another question was answered. So why to go to Devghar? So why not to take here? So then the next morning only I took the initiation of Swasteni. So can you imagine how the Thakur, when you think about Thakur thinks about you 100 times more. So he will show you the whole path, what you need to follow and where you are going. So that is also another, a kind of a story when I got initiated with Swasteni Brata. Yeah.
True. I feel like the even the staircases for you, the stepstones in your life has been built. First started with the family, your parents, and then your teachings, then in your inspiration came to the belief that you had, your family's belief, your wife's belief, and now it turns that the strong belief has turned into the biggest faith that you have in Thakur. And it's always mentioned like, if you have faith, then faith is above reasoning. And if you have faith, the reasoning shall support you also. The same thing happened with you also. It seems that you had faith and you had this question in your mind about Sastaveni, and then the next moment it was answered. So I would also like to mention to our viewers that these terminologies that we are using here, like Ishtapriti, then Sastaveni, I think these are the main principles what Sri Thakur has mentioned, Dr. Anukulchandra has mentioned for a usual human being's life to be followed on. And I'm sure we will have much more and many more episodes regarding these specific words and terminologies with very intelligent and knowledgeable people with us who would give a very beautiful explanations. I'm very sure, because even I am being inspired from them. They will give explanations on these principles also. I think few certain times we had also used this terminologies in our previous episodes, but I think these have become like very usual for us, so it's quite easy for us to understand and usual words for us. Yeah, very, very true. I heard that your daughter Adya, she is about to be 8 months, right? 8 months year old.
Yeah. Yes, she just completed her 8 months, and now she is going to start. Yeah, she's going to start the 9 months, means the next steps of her life. But that was also like, I'm so happy, like, when you do prayers and when you do in front of Thakur every day morning, she's also doing her Ishtabhuti. So like I said, like I got all the guidance from my parents, my first generation. Though that time I was not aware of what is Ishtabhuti, what is Thakur, but because I'm trying to give her the same kind of principles to her, and I'm so happy to see that she is also following it so nicely. She every day morning to do some pranam to Thakur and Bodoma Thakur's whole family, and then doing Ishtabhuti. She is doing with us every day, evening, morning. So I'm so happy to see that so little girl, 7-8 months, but she, though at least she's not crying. She's not crying. She's not like, I'll not go to that room, or I'll not be sitting in front of that for half an hour. No, she's really enjoying there. So I think that is again blessings of Thakur, that she is already in the path, and we are so happy that it is she came to this world with the only and only blessings of Pujya Padacharya Dev, and of course Thakur. So yes, now she is really into our path, and slowly, just in a couple of months you will, when she will start talking, or let's say try a little bit understanding people, and I think she will be with us, started talking, doing some. If you see, you asked me this question, Satsang Europe, what changes you have seen. Another point I would like to bring here, the kids. So we have been seeing the kids here, like who like maybe they initially they were not that much of involved, but now every one of them sings Thakur songs. They offer bhajan, they offer kirtan, and they really recite different books. They compose songs. Can you see the extent of Thakur's, how much they love? And then of course they do our Nam, our Dhoni and all these things. They know, I think, a lot of things they know. This is also one of the evolution after getting a Satsang Europe, I would say. Yeah, I think Adya is going to join. Adya is going to join that group soon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think not going to join, she's already a part of us, I would say. And it's just really amazing that you mentioned that she doesn't cry when you're going to that prayer room, and she sits for the whole duration of the prayer that happens, meditation that happens. And about the kids, of course, I can completely agree to your words about the kids that have been acquainted with Satsang Europe has been developed like anything. I mean, they are really portraying the future of Satsang, I would say. And the way they have developed, the parents have also developed along with them. So this is quite amazing. Even I love to be with kids, so I have been with them. Even I get to learn so much from them.
Last time when I visited Devghar, Pujyapat Acharya Dev also told many times, not to me only, many people there, like now you start thinking your next generation, because that they are the future, So if they don't understand Thakur, they don't understand the philosophy of Thakur, because in this, like you say, materialized world, they're like millions of ways to destroy your mind, but there are only couple of ways to you keep yourself calm and composed and think something very peacefully. So that's what Acharya Dev also was telling that time. So just think about your next generation, how they will follow you, and for that you have to be good as a parents. If you follow properly Thakur's philosophy, Thakur's ideology, then your next generation is going to fall in the right way. Yes.
Sure, sure. This is very important for all of us. I think it's not only about Thakur's ideology that we have to proceed to our next generation, or to show them the light of Sri Thakur, but rather also to guide them to learn more about from this world, about their own life, the mistakes that we have faced, the mistakes that we have done. We would not like them to also have the same phase of life, right? In today's globalized world, everyone would like to have the next generation in a sustainable way. They grow basically. So you are a new parent, so lots of congratulations for that. And it was lovely meeting Adya also for the first time during our Budapest Utsav. So since you're a new family now, and your next generation is already on way, and then what do you think, what would you like your daughter to be blessed with? These teachings, these acquaintance with Thakur, because you must be seeing the younger self of yourself. So what is the particular gift that you would like to give to the younger version of yourself?
Yeah. Like as a parent, I would say maybe I took some time to really to activate myself. Like I said, I took like almost like in between the like 10 years of time where I was doing prayer and I was doing my regular activities, but those are, I would say those are very basic thing which any Guru Bhai or Guru Ma, like when they take initiation, they used to do. But what next? The activeness comes when you, Thakur always says, doing some jajan. Again, this is also one of the key word, what Thakur has, one of the principles, what like you said that maybe for the viewers it is new. But jajan means how much and how you're sharing Thakur's philosophy to others, how you're spreading that knowledge, that voice to others. So that is where, like I was, maybe I would say I was late in my age, but I would say when my next generation is coming, so because from the day one they are going to see in few months or few years of time how in Europe these kids, or let's say how they are really engaged with a lot of different activities. And then like I think that gap of 10 years what I have missed, I think she's not going to miss that. Now she will be getting activated from very initial time, and so which will be a very happy moment and a blissful moment for us as a parents to really used to see how she is going to put herself in any of the Thakur's activity. So that is where like I feel to her to be spot on and to do Thakur's activity as soon as possible, actively, I would say.
That's very beautiful to hear from a parent who is a new parent and has already seen a bright future for her daughter. And both you and your wife must be already having a lot of plans for your daughter, that this new particular generation comes with more bliss in their life. Because today's generation, we also being in this phase of youth, has always been seeing our friends, colleagues being in stress, having a lot of problems with families and stuffs. But one thing I have really seen is that in the family of Satsang, or a Satsangi family, it has always been like they are very much relaxed, and they are happy with what they are doing. So this is really nice, and everyone should know how to be happy about stuff. There will be challenges, there will be a lot of problems in our life, but the essence of being happy, the essence of having bliss in your life actually comes from parents like you, I would say, that who has already been into this path of Thakur and has already planned that how our daughter should have this bliss from Thakur also. So since you are also in the same similar generation as me, I would say, and in this new generation of kids, I would like to know from you, what specific message would you like to pass on to today's new generation who is losing faith and who is losing belief from this particular source of our life?
I think this is something a very important question, or let's say discussion, what you wanted to share here. Yes, absolutely. Love and faith, all these things. Love, like, when there is a child, from childhood itself, he or she loves mother, right? Automatically, and it comes automatically, because the amount of care and amount of time what the kids spent with parents, then automatically they start loving, right? So that is, then eventually when they get younger, and then they slowly little bit get their friends, and then slowly they have their circle different now. So it's not that their love for parents now it is reducing, not like that, but it is dividing, because now there are more people whom you to love. It's not only two of my father and mother, right? So then in that case, so they themselves get also stressed, right? Oh my God, now I have to love my uncle, I have to love my sister, I have to love my friends, I have to love my mother, I have to love my father, everybody, right? So then they get a little bit stressed. So then, so all these things, Thakur is clearly so nicely said, all these things will be there, but the first and foremost is loving me, loving the source, loving the ideal, right? So that is where we are, like eventually when we'll grown up, then we'll miss not to just love hundreds of people and dividing the love, but rather you love one and you will see everybody love you. That is one thing which I wanted to mention. And another point, we have we know that why to do why to be so spiritual and in this so young age, what is the need? So everybody says that, whenever I visit to my home country, let's say somewhere, some people also, my friends also, they sometimes, not all friends, but some of the friends, not in a bad way, but they say like, why? Because you are so involved. Is this age to do those things? Why don't you enjoy and do all the other things? And like when you will be in 55 or 60 or 70, then you can do all these things. So basically they are defining the age here. They are defining the age. In 60 years you have to be spiritual. In starting from 20 to your 50, no spiritual required there. So that is how they're framing. But this is I would like to share a message to my next generation, or the young generation here. Like age, if you cannot do how much you could do in the age of 60 or let's say 55. In 20, 30, 40s, you are more active, right? Then you can do so many things if you really want to do for spiritual things. But in the 60 or 70 years, when you are getting older, that time your body will not allow you to do so many things actively. So you have to understand which age is the right time to do some spiritual things, whether it is 30s or it is 60s. So that kind of, that is just a, mindset what is happening. It's been long time. We know that in the old age we'll follow Thakur and we'll follow spiritual things. So it's not like that. In the young age, it is the right age when, when you are active, you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of thought process, you have a lot of, creativity in your mind. That's the right time when you should think, follow Thakur and do a lot of spiritual stuff. That's one message, another message I wanted to pass here.
That's a very strong message that you have today mentioned to all of us, to me, and also to our viewers, that having creativity and channelizing your activeness with this creativity actually happens in this particular age. So, young age is the right age when we can really channelize this to a right direction. I would say that is what you mentioned. So, because it has been a quite intense discussions that we have had today. I think there are a lot of more experiences and more stories that is still in your heart and would like to burst it out. But I think we will hear more from you in our next episodes, and I would really heartfully say thanks for your experiences, your amazing experiences, I would say, and your hardships that you have followed, that you have faced. Even with those hardships, you are sitting with us with a bright and beautiful intelligence, I would say. And this is lovely. I mean, I'm out of words now to say that how intensely I was listening to you and all your stories. Although we have been in touch for quite many years, but still this interaction has been a little bit special for me. I would feel, and I think we will hear more from you. And also to our viewers, I would say, stay tuned for our next episodes. We will come back with Vikas again to hear more from him and to let you also know more about his experiences and our experiences. So thank you, because that it was wonderful talking to you today.
Thank you, Abhidhamma. Thank you. Jai Guru.